What's up, y'all? Welcome to the very first episode of All About the Hustle.
Hey.
Period. It's your girl, Danny, and I'm sitting here with the one and only Miss Kiki Haynes, okay? Hey, girl, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? Thank you
I'm
for that beautiful
good.
introduction.
No problem. No problem. What got you into acting, like just overall?
I grew up watching my mom and dad on stage. Literally, my father was an R&B artist, and my mother was a spoken word artist. And I think watching them, be on stage, living out their dreams and their artistry gave me the courage that if they can do it, I could do
Right.
it. Because as a little girl, I found myself talking to myself in the mirror and playing out dramatic scenes.
I used to do
Playing
that when
out
I was a
dramatic,
kid.
yes,
Oh my gosh.
playing out dramatic scenes. I had a best friend who lived in the same building as me. Oh, girl, we would play all kind of we play argument. I would win every time. Uh, no,
Is
so I think I
hilarious.
always knew that I had there was something different. There was a calling on me. But I think by having parents who were in the business, it definitely gave me the courage to, give it a try.
I love that. So I got on to you when Tyler Perry's For Better or Worse was on and popping. How did you land that role as Kesha? Because,
That
girl,
That was a very, very interesting time in my life. Couple things. I was living in California at that point because I'm originally a Jersey girl.
right?
But things were extremely slow. And actually, at the time that casting, the audition process came around, I had actually stepped away from the business for a moment.
Really?
Yeah, because money wasn't right. A relationship that I was in just turned out to be really, really bad and toxic. I was just, you just don't feel your best.
Yeah.
And so I
Definitely get it.
decided to. I didn't quit, but I felt like I needed to step away because, especially in this business, if you're not at your best, you're better off not showing up. Because
At
with a lot
all,
of people,
yes.
you only really get one shot. First impressions mean so much.
So much.
So I remember at that time, and I like to tell this part because it's so important. I remember I said, Lord, I know you gave me this talent. I know you gave me this ability, but I believe that it's time for me to step away and take care of my house, is what I like to call it. Get things
Get
in
your
order.
house in order.
Get my
Yep.
house in order. But I believe, and I'm trusting, that if something were to come along that was meant for me, that you will effortlessly align it up for me.
I know that's right. I like that.
Literally. And so I say that to say, so I stepped away from the business, let go of the representation that I had, and I started working for a company where I was selling salon packages, actually. I was selling packages to college students and different people to get highlights and different
Oh,
things. And it was
wow.
like an independent contracting job. I worked on commission, and I was doing really, really well. In fact, I was doing so well that they were going to have a meeting with me like that following Monday to be like a project manager
wow.
to start, leading my own team. So put a
Period.
pin in that, right?
Okay.
So I'm out of the acting loop. All of a sudden, I get a call from a casting director that I met when I first moved to LA, because I moved to LA in 2003. I believe I began that show 2011. So I get this call, hey, Kiki, what are you doing? I'm casting this show, blah, blah, blah. Can you come in and audition? And, I was on a hustle then. I told you I was kind of out of it, but
Yeah.
I appreciated her. Remember, I hadn't spoke to this woman in years. I probably been at least 2 years since I talked to her. And, I said, okay, I'll come to the audition, because my thing is thank you for thinking of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Most people are out of sight, out of mind.
Absolutely.
So she set up the audition the next day at 4 p.m. I honestly thought about working half a day because, again, I was on my money hustle. It was all about, it was all about
Now
that.
you still trying
It
to
was
get
all
it
about
in.
that coin. It was like, but I was like, no, Key, you have an audition in a minute. Press pause, do
That's
what you
valid,
do,
yeah.
go through your steps, look at your script, break it down,
Yeah.
get yourself in order. So that way, honestly, what my goal was?
What?
It wasn't to book the job. It was to go in and do a good job so that she could feel good that she thought of me. I just wanted to make her proud that she called me.
Because you never want to make the person who recommended you for something.
Because she could have called
look bad.
anybody. Exactly. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to impress her, to be quite honest. So I do my work. I go to the audition, and lo and behold, I walk in the room, and Tyler Perry is there.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay.
Now all the nerves.
All the
just-
nerves, are, but and, I'm not showing it on my face. So I
Right.
get there, and if you remember, there were in the very first season, there was an episode where I come over to the house, and I guess I stopped by, and I don't think Angela, played by Tasha Smith, knew, and we get to fighting.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
actually one of my favorite episodes.
That was my audition scene. It was. And like I said, I told you, around that season
Oh,
of my life,
wow.
money was low. The ex-boyfriend, that was a whole nother story,
Yeah.
but it was very toxic. So I was feeling a lot at the
wow.
time. I brought that into the room.
I know that's right.
So those lines and that fight.
You ate that
I made
down.
Okay.
No, because that's actually one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
So that's actually crazy.
And what people don't understand is acting. Yes, you're reading somebody else's lines, but you have to bring what is either really presently going in your life or something that you experience at some time. You want to bring it to the piece because the best actors don't act. You know what I mean? We bring the words alive based on the emotion and the situations that we have actually lived in. So that just so happened to be my present.
Perfect timing.
Listen.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yes. So I remember I go through the scene and Tyler's like, okay. He's like, I like that now. This time I want you to. And he gave me a couple of adjustments and I did the adjustments. And he was like, okay. He was like, okay, Kiki. He said, you're my top pick. He told me this.
I know that's right.
He told me this, okay? And I heard it, but I think I was just so happy because you know how you know when you do a good job?
Yeah.
Like I knew that I had kicked that audition out the box and I was looking at Kim's face. That was the casting director. Her name is Kim Williams. Shout out to Kim Williams. I just was like, okay, I came here. I did what I was supposed to do.
Yes.
So I leave the audition. I go home. And people always laugh when I say this part of the story. I am a big Disney fan. I love Disney cartoons. And so I put on a Disney DVD of Tangled. I was making one of my favorite frozen meals from Trader Joe's, one of these Indian foods. I'm just going on with my day because I'm like, I did that. It's about 7 p.m. My phone rings. It's Kim Williams. Kim was like, hey, Kiki. And before she could finish, I cut her off. I'm like, Kim, oh, my God, girl, thank you so much for calling me in today. You have no idea what that's, done for my morale. Life has been lifing lately.
Right.
You don't know, so you don't understand. I'm just so great. She's listening, and she's like, And I'm just like, girl, thank you. She's
now
like,
she
okay.
let you finish.
She let me finish, She let me finish. And she said, okay. She said, okay, you're welcome. She said, well, Kiki, I just wanted to tell you did such an amazing job. As soon as you left, Tyler could not stop talking about you. And, he looked at my resume, and he saw on there that I had actually studied with Tasha Smith before. I've taken her acting class, TSAW, Tasha Smith Acting Workshop. So I think he picked up the phone, gave her a call at that point, like, hey, you're not going to believe what just came in. Kiki Haynes, Tasha gave her stamp of approval, like, Tyler, that's my girl. She's a hard worker. She's good. I always say, though I did my thing in the audition, I'm so grateful for Tasha's stamp of approval because I think that gave him the notion to hire me on the spot. Right. So Kim said, well, Kiki, are you sitting down? Going back to the phone call. I said, yeah. She said, She said, well, as soon as you left, Tyler said, tell all the rest of the girls to go home. I found her.
I know that's right. Yes, ma'am.
Girl, I haven't told this story like this in so long.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm giving myself chills.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he said, I don't need to see nobody else. And Kim was like, well, no. We have to see them.
No, you don't.
Well, because they came down, money, time, gas. They learned their lines.
Guess.
It's just the right thing to do. But he knew then, and he did. He let them come, and they auditioned. Yes. But she said, are you ready to be the next star of Tyler Perry's next TV show? And I was just like, Kim, no way. And she said, yes. I said, Kim, no way. She was like, Kiki, way, yes. And she said, who's your representation now? And I was like, well, that's just the thing.
Right.
I don't have representation right now. And I kind of brought her up to the speed a little bit. And I said, but you know what? That's when my phone rings and it's Tasha calling me. Like, girl, I just got the call. And I was like, I just got the call too.
I know that's right. I love that.
And so I told Tasha I didn't have representation. And she actually introduced me to an attorney, a lawyer. And so I never met this lawyer before. I met him at Starbucks the next day so I got the call on Monday. I went to the audition Tuesday at 4 p.m. Oh, wow. Got the call that I booked it Tuesday night at 7 p.m. They said, are you prepared to get on a red eye tomorrow? You're the last person in the cast to get cast, and we need to get you down to Atlanta ASAP. And that's why they were asking about representation because they needed to know who to send the contract to.
Everything was moving so fast. Yeah.
So this attorney that Tasha referred me to met me at Starbucks the next afternoon.
I love it.
I meet him at Starbucks. We go over everything because we had to have it signed and to Atlanta because, they're 3 hours behind us.
Yes.
So I get it to them. Everything's locked and loaded. I'm on a flight Wednesday night. In fact, I met up with some girlfriends at Bossa Nova because I'm telling people this happened so fast. And we have dinner and I'm telling them how it happens. I get on a flight Wednesday night And they told me that I was going to go to the studio, I think, if not Tuesday evening, Friday. They were like, I'm so sorry. As soon
Yeah.
as you land, you have to go, straight to the studio. There's no time for you to go to the hotel. We need to do a camera test. The same romper, the same jumpsuit that I had
Yeah.
on Wednesday at Starbucks signing my papers,
Yeah.
Wednesday night at Bossa Nova celebrating with my girls, Wednesday night on the Red Eye. Thursday morning, I was in Tyler Perry studio with that same jumpsuit on.
That needs to be framed at
To
that
the
point.
point, yes, to the point where I think I took a picture on set at one point. My girls was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait a minute,
Ain't
why you got the same thing on?" I was like, "Because," and so go through the day, meet the rest of the cast. Believe it or not, I was actually supposed to be with the character who plays Joseph at first.
You supposed to be Leslie?
Well, or maybe Joe or the what is his real name? Oh my God, Jason was supposed to be Richard. And then they switched, and Kent, who played Richard, was gonna be Joseph.
Okay.
So they switched it around once they matched us all
Got
together.
you.
And so it became me, and now my producing partner Kent Falcon. He was Richard.
Everything was cast.
Everything
So
it was.
perfectly.
Oh, thank you. But when I tell you, I didn't get to the hotel room until Thursday night.
I bet
When
you
I
slept
sat on
good.
the bed, and I remember just sitting down, and I remember just taking a moment because I told you I stepped away.
Yeah.
But I remembered that prayer in the back of my mind, and the tears just started to flow. But it was tears of happiness because I was like, God, you got jokes.
Definitely do.
You
got
got
a real
jokes.
sense of humor.
My life changed in 72 hours.
I love that for you.
I had no idea Monday morning that Thursday I was going to be in Atlanta at Tyler Perry Studios playing a lead in one of his new shows. So, thank you for allowing me to go down that story. I have not told it like that in
Girl.
so long. When I say when God has a plan for you,
Absolutely.
when it's meant for you, it is meant for you. You just have to stay ready so that when the opportunity comes, you don't argue, you don't question it, you don't try to ration. You just show up and you be your best. And if it's meant for you, it will be yours.
Absolutely. Ooh, girl. That's a word. Absolutely. Okay.
Tyler, honestly, he has blessed me so much. I mean, I didn't even know then because I believe we filmed the first 10 episodes, which was the pilot in 2011. And then the show actually came out in 2012. I had no idea that 10 years later, I was going to be working, with him again, now being on All the Queens. I had
And you producing, right?
No, I saw that you wrote that in your notes, but I'm going to say I produce my own stuff, but I'm not producing on that show.
Okay.
I wish. Maybe I'll have to talk to him this season.
We're going to manifest
We're going to manifest
Tyler!
Hey! No, but he has been such a blessing, and he always, man, I didn't even think about that till this time. He always comes through for me during times that, and it wasn't just me in 2020. It was all of us, but I had just lost my dad.
Yeah.
He just comes, it's almost like as I'm trying to sing, he's like, nope.
Yep.
I got you. I got you, girl.
He's going to let you go through a little something, but going to reel you back in.
We got too much to do. You can't know it. We got too much to do over here. So I'm thankful for him. I am.
So we're going to play a quick little game of rapid fire.
Okay.
So I'm going to shoot out some questions.
Okay.
And you just first answer that comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
All right. Favorite self-care ritual?
Facials.
Last thing you Googled?
An endermology suit, which that's too much to explain.
I'm weak. Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Favorite lipstick?
Ooh, MAC lip gloss. Oyster Girl.
Okay, period.
Yes.
First big audition?
Oh, Denzel. It was American Gangster.
Oh,
I auditioned to
period.
play his girl.
I know that's right.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
What's a role that challenged you the most?
I did a movie called The Missing, where I played a I guess you could say a free-spirited woman, a lesbian woman that just, wanted to do things her way, was a rebel, but just, had a heart, but just was like, I'm all about me. That was kind of hard. And in the Wesley Christmas South Africa Part 2, that's also a challenging role because I was a happily married woman, had everything I wanted, but I was barren, and I was having a hard time conceiving. And I remember there was a scene where I had to bawl out. Oh, I know what it is. I did end up getting pregnant. So that's what it was. I remember now. The scene was heavy because I was supposedly barren, but of course sometimes God blesses you when you don't know.
Right.
And I have this baby and it's supposed to be the thing that I've wanted all my life, but then when I actually get it, I went through postpartum. That's what it was. It was accepting the fact that this gift that I had wanted for so long,
It's
I
something you
finally
didn't
got,
want.
but in my opinion, I wasn't handling it as well as I should have, and I was disappointed in myself, and I was like beating myself up, and it was a very loving, intimate scene with me and my husband, with me having to tell him I felt like a failure and him consoling me and telling me that I wasn't.
You acted your ass off in that too, by
Yeah,
the way.
thank you.
Um,
Thank you. That probably would be number one over the missing. I would say
I can see
definitely
that. Yeah.
A Wesley Christmas Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that because I feel like that role was something more serious, and I'm used to seeing you like in sitcoms, and, things like that.
I was like,
so that was different. That was different for sure.
Yeah, but it was real. I had to it's yeah. I had to definitely let myself go there and really understand. As I've disappointed myself.
Yeah.
I've felt like I didn't do as much as I could have, or disappointed other people that I love, and I let it go. And that was such a powerful scene. I actually did I get nominated? I think they were pushing to get me nominated that year for NAACP Image Award, but I had just missed it. It's okay. It's okay.
We're going to try again next year.
We're going to try again. Yes.
What's one thing you do before every audition?
Pray.
I know that's right.
100%.
Who's your biggest cheerleader?
My mom. She is. I remember when I booked the For Better or Worse show, I was so excited. I called her, and she was the calmest one of everybody. And I was like, "Mom, did you hear what I said?" She said, "Yeah, I heard you." I was like, "Can you believe it?" She said, "Yes." I always knew. They just finding out.
I know that's right, Mama. Mamas know.
Mamas know.
Mamas know.
She said, "Of course I'm happy." She said, "But no, I'm not." She wasn't as shocked and surprised,
I love
as
that.
I was. She was like, "I knew. I didn't know when." She was like, "But I've always known." They just finding out.
I love it. She said, "Girl, you that girl."
You that girl. Yes. Living it, standing it proudly.
That part.
Yeah.
Last show you binge watched?
Forever.
Really?
Did you see Forever
Yes.
yet? Ooh, that show.
And I needed it back.
Yes,
I
that
needed it back.
show. I'm so excited.
I just finished
They
it.
got greenlit for season
I saw.
2. No, that show
was a
was
good
so
show.
brilliant. Mara Brock Akil, who I have not worked yet, and excuse me, look, I'm so nervous. I'm tongue tied. Who I have not worked with yet. She is just. She's amazing. I can't wait to work with her. That show is just.
That was really good. That was honestly what we needed, I feel like. Because you're starting to see so much of the same thing.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
It's nothing out like that.
It was,
right now.
she captured, and what I love is that though the leads, of course, are, the two young people, I love that all of us were also invested in the relationship of the parents.
Yes.
There was different things that were, and even the relationship of the single mom, there were so
Yes.
many different people that you got invested. Oh, yes.
Yes, because I was invested in the parents.
We could talk
too.
about this forever.
Literally. Okay, I see what you did
You see what I did? You see what I did?
We can
right
definitely
there?
talk about that for a minute too,
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence, okay?
Okay.
I don't play about my
Family.
period. One thing fans would be surprised to know about you.
I'm big on DIY projects. I could do a wallpaper. I could put some flooring down. I
Really?
could put some cabinets up. Yeah, and I'm pretty handy and with nails.
I know that's right, because I'm quick to find somebody to pay to do it.
But see, that's the thing. I gotta have my heart and soul into it. So I'll do it for a friend.
Yeah.
Because somebody said, why don't I do it as a side gig, like interior design? But I think if I had to do it, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be as fun.
Fun.
But I help
No.
a friend, so I would help you.
Thank you. Are there any projects that you're passionate about bringing to life that Hollywood just isn't showing enough of right now?
Well, I would just like to see us in more superhero roles. I mean, we're starting to see it more, but I wanted to go even further. And then also, I'm liking how Hollywood is pushing more sci-fi films. So a film that I produced that is actually supposed to come out on Aspire TV this month called Just a Phase.
Okay.
It's funny that I chose both superhero and sci-fi because my character, I play the lead, is an engineering scientist who discovers a device that has the kind of powers that can change the fate of the world. So me, without the device, I don't have powers besides the fact that I'm, very, very smart and,
Yeah.
I'm good at figuring out things. The actual device allows me to phase through objects. So I can phase through a wall,
I like
phase through,
that.
floor. So I feel like a superhero,
That's
where
cool.
I have it. So I want to continue with the superhero, sci-fi,
Yeah.
STEM movies that just show us in a just broader, just amazingly
I agree.
technology savvy, intelligent, just
Yeah.
powerhouse roles. That's what I want to see more of.
Yeah, because now that you mentioned, there aren't really many black superhero movies.
Well, there's more. There's
Like,
more that are coming out. Like there's one in particular, and I wish I knew that the title. And a lot of times when they do come out, it's with kids. I want to see it more with adult
I do
women.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So even the one that I'm thinking of with the young lady. Oh goodness! And then Ironheart is actually one that just came out that I
It
just watched
is.
last week, and she's a
That's on
young
my
adult, so
list.
she's not necessarily a kid. I think she's probably like her early 20s. So again,
Yeah.
it's getting better. It's going there. But the other one that
Yeah.
I was thinking of, oh my goodness, she's a teenager, and I want to say, is that a Mike B. Jordan film? Or I know he did the one Raising Dion.
Mm-hmm.
That's his, and this one came out right afterwards. Don't mark me on it, but that's my thing. I love that.
I'm trying to think. It's one that I was watching like a couple years back. Black Lightning. I like that one.
Black Lightning is good. I do like
Yeah, I
that.
like
But
that one.
again, the lead is a male. I want to see
Right.
females and more. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited. I was really excited in Ironheart to see, and the
Yes.
storyline in Ironheart actually is a continuation from her character in Wakanda Forever. So she was
Yes.
introduced
And
there.
that's why I
Remember
can't wait to
they
see it.
they
Yeah.
brought it in. But yeah, so that's where I want us to stay. I love that.
I love that too, actually. You're right. I didn't expect you to say that. I don't know what I expected you to say, but yeah,
I just,
definitely more
I like
superhero.
seeing us. I hate to say it, if I could say this, I like seeing us be powerful and kick ass roles.
Yes,
I've often said that one of my
absolutely.
dream roles is not just an action film, but I feel like it's a combination of power, sexiness, intelligence. It's like a
Yes,
Colombiana meets Charlie's Angel. You know what I mean?
yes,
That kind of
yes,
meets Wakanda Forever. It's
yes,
just yeah.
absolutely.
And the reason why I always throw Charlie's Angel in there because I want to also keep the girly part of us. We're
Yeah,
smart and sexy, but we got that girly girl side of us too. We know we
literally.
can play those different sides
We
of
can do
us.
it all.
We don't have to just be the wife or the girlfriend. We can do it
Mm-hmm.
all.
I love that. So you said you're from Jersey,
I
right?
am.
When you moved to LA, did you feel like there was a culture shock for you at all?
A little bit. A little bit. One of the things that was hard for me to get used to is how spread out it is out here in Los
Very,
Angeles.
yes.
Being in Jersey, and I got started in acting in New York because, a lot of it is in,
Yeah,
Manhattan. I grew up 20 minutes from the city. I could you could drive or you could jump on a train.
yeah,
And then also, I feel like everything is right there. It's easier to get places, to network. In LA, you at the time when I first came, there was stuff in Santa Monica, there was stuff in Mid City, there was
yeah.
stuff in Burbank, there was stuff in Pasadena.
Everywhere.
It was everywhere. So that was a little bit of a culture shock. And then also on the East Coast, you could run into somebody and they could say, "Hey, I have this opportunity coming up. Come to my office Monday at 10."
Mm-hmm.
Here, I found it was a little bit more everything. You had to go through certain protocols.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You had
yeah,
to have an agent or a manager, and your agent or your manager had to set up the appointment for you. Like my
yeah.
girlfriend, my best friend, and I, we first moved here, we were crashing commercial auditions all the time. We had met a guy who's like a brother to me, an actor. We were putting his agent's name down, and
Oh,
we were
wow.
actually getting callbacks. And so she's like, "Who is this Kiki Haynes?" And
I love it.
Khalida Outlaw, and he's like, "Oh, those are my friends I was telling you about." And she was a little upset, but at the same time, I was like, "Why are you upset? We're getting callbacks."
Literally, it's working.
So I just, what was a culture shock for me is
Yeah,
everything out here is a little bit more diplomatic. It's
absolutely.
not just about, you being at the right place, right time, right talent. They want you
Yeah,
to go through,
different
the
steps
different
and
steps.
yeah,
Yeah. That was a little bit of a culture shock.
I definitely get it.
Yeah.
Because I moved out here about a year and a half ago, and I see
And
that.
I mean, that was then. I don't know now. And then even how the business
Yeah,
is done now is very different than when I first
it's very
started.
different.
Everything is virtual and everything, which is a plus in sometimes because now you
Yeah,
don't necessarily have to live here
yeah,
to audition. But it's, yeah, when I moved here, then it was everything being so spread apart and then having to, get the right team in place so that I can
right,
come up the chain ladder.
right. So what do you want to be remembered for?
What do I want to be remembered for? Making people feel good. Like whatever role that I play, I like if people go home and they're still talking about it. Like,
Yeah.
being a great conversation starter, allowing people to reflect on their own lives.
Yeah.
Just so even like when I played the sassy, troublemaking Kesha on For Better or Worse, I may not have made you feel good in terms of, my character and what I was doing, but it might have made you feel good to you're not making those same decisions. You know what I mean? Or it might make you feel good that you might know somebody in your family who's like that, and maybe you might want to tug on them and say, hey, you may not want to make that decision, but just either make people feel good or just allow them to have good conversation.
I love that. What piece of advice would you give someone wanting to do what you're doing?
Work on your craft. I always say that. You always want to make sure that your acting skills are up to par before you jump out and just want to get representation. Because I always tell people, everybody, I get it. They want to get out. They want to audition. They want to book the job. But if you don't have the acting skills to book the job, like I said, you only get one shot with a lot of these people. A lot of times, you get to impress them or not. And then if you don't impress them, sometimes it takes years for them to see you again.
Yeah.
So work on your craft. Make sure that you're ready. Don't put a time limit on it. I get, I know some people say, oh, so if I come out here and I spend 20 years and I don't see any fruit from it, this may not be for you. That's kind of a hard thing. But if you've come out here and you're in class and you have an agent, you're getting auditions, you're getting good feedback from the auditions, but you're just not booking, that's a little bit more of no, stay in it. Because as long as you're seeing some kind of fruit from you, what you're putting into, then it could just not be your time, stay in it. But if you're doing those things and you're not getting any kind of positive feedback, it may not be for you. So get into a good class, hone your skills, don't put a time limit on, and just be realistic in terms of, whether or not this business is meant for you or not. Just kind of, pay attention to the fruit that is coming from the seeds that you're planting.
Do you have any upcoming projects that you're excited about?
Well, besides my own, Just a Phase, again, is going to be on Aspire TV platform in July. I'm excited about that. I'm excited that season 4, we're going to continue season 4 of All the Queen's Men. It drops on July 24th.
Oh,
and
yes,
this is going to be a very exciting season because my character and my team finally got Madam and we're taking her to court. So she has to face the judicial system, yes. And Yes, we get to bring her into our domain. So, those two things in particular. And then also a dear friend of mine, since I mentioned T-Saw, one of my very good friends, Sean Riggs, we met in T-Saw so many years ago. He actually has a film called Lazarus that first came out in 2021. We just filmed part 2 in the spring, and that is set for release at the end of this year. And that I actually get to play a detective as well. I'm sure he got the idea from All the Queen's Men, but I have a tactical team that I lead, and so those 3 projects are the 3 that I'm most excited about right now.
Love it. I can't wait. So where can people keep up with you?
On Instagram. I'm not a TikToker just yet. I have a TikTok account just so I could see other people's stuff,
That's
but
how
I'm
I am.
not active.
Yeah, it's okay.
My Instagram is my name, Kiki Haynes, Kiki Haynes, and I'm even a little bit better on Facebook. Because somebody actually, a fan, made a comment like, "How come you're not as, active, or you don't have as much of a following on Facebook as you do on Instagram?" And I said, you know what? It's probably because I don't really engage. So I've actually taken the time to engage more. But Instagram is definitely
where it's at.
Where it's at, to follow me. And I'm very proud of myself and how I've been staying on top of things in the last year. I've been doing much better.
You definitely have, because I definitely saw that skin routine video.
Yes.
I said, oh, girl.
Listen, it is that is, you asked me, that was one of the questions, like, what is my go-to routine? Yes, the facial routine, 100%.
Absolutely.
It's your calling card, it is 100%.
First thing everybody see.
Yes, absolutely.
The money maker.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sitting here talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, so thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of All About the Hustle. Stay tuned for the next one next Wednesday. Bye.